idea of being a living algorithm of evolution is reshaping how we think about personal growth and human potential.
Wow, that's a mind-bending concept to kick things off. Are we really at a point where we can talk about consciousness in terms of software updates?
Well, it's certainly becoming a popular metaphor. This quote about being a living algorithm of evolution has really captured my attention. It's fascinating how we're starting to merge biological and technological language to describe our personal development. 20 years ago, calling yourself an algorithm would have seemed cold and robotic. But now, it almost feels intimate.
That's an interesting shift. I wonder what's driving this change in how we talk about ourselves.
I think it's partly due to how deeply technology has become integrated into our lives. We're constantly interacting with algorithms through our devices, social media, and even in our workplaces. So it makes sense that we'd start to see ourselves through that lens too. But there's more to it than just borrowed vocabulary. This idea of being a living algorithm suggests that we're both programmed and programming ourselves.
That's a fascinating tension, because algorithms are typically fixed sequences of steps, right? But adding the word living completely transforms the meaning.
Exactly. And don't forget the evolution part. It's like we're acknowledging that we're part of this grand biological experiment while also claiming some control over its direction. There's something almost transhumanist about it. You know, I've been reading about how some scientists are already talking about directed evolution, where we actively guide our own biological development.
Oh, that reminds me of those early computer games where you had to evolve your character through different stages. But instead of just leveling up in a game, we're talking about consciously evolving our actual selves. It's like life imitating art, imitating life.
Such a perfect comparison. And it brings up this question of consciousness itself. The quote specifically mentions upgrading my consciousness to higher versions, as if our awareness is something we can patch and improve like software. I've been wondering lately if meditation and mindfulness practices are essentially consciousness debugging tools.
That's pretty mind-bending when you think about it. We're using our consciousness to upgrade our consciousness. It's like trying to renovate a house while you're living in it, or performing surgery on yourself.
I love those analogies. And it makes me wonder, what does version 2.0 of consciousness even look like? Are we talking about better emotional regulation, improved pattern recognition, enhanced empathy? I've been experimenting with different personal development practices, and it's fascinating to think of them as consciousness upgrades.
Those are such thought-provoking questions. And here's another layer to consider. Who is writing this algorithm? The quote says, "I am." But we're all influenced by so many external factors: culture, education, technology, social media.
That's where it gets really complex and fascinating, right? Because even our decision to upgrade ourselves is shaped by current social values, like how everyone suddenly became interested in mindfulness when Silicon Valley started promoting it. And now we have all these apps and platforms promising to optimize our consciousness. It's like we're trying to hack our own evolution.
That's a crucial point about the commercialization of consciousness upgrading. We've turned personal evolution into a product, complete with feature updates and premium versions.
Exactly. And yet, there's something both empowering and slightly unsettling about viewing personal growth through this lens of systematic upgrade cycles. I've noticed how this framework can create this constant pressure to optimize, like we're never quite good enough in our current version. It's the eternal beta test of the self.
Which, when you really examine it, mirrors the nature of biological evolution itself. There is no final form. It's all about continuous adaptation to changing circumstances.
You know what's really interesting? The quote also suggests intelligent design in personal growth. It's not random mutation, it's directed evolution. We're making conscious choices about how we want to develop, which traits we want to enhance. I've been thinking about how this relates to the choices we make about our digital lives too, which platforms we use, how we present ourselves online.
That's a fascinating parallel between digital and personal evolution. We're curating both our online presence and our consciousness through intentional choices.
Absolutely. And it challenges this traditional boundary between what's natural and what's artificial. If we're consciously directing our own evolution, using tools and technologies to enhance our capabilities, is it still natural? I've been grappling with this question in my own personal development journey.
Well, maybe we need to expand our definition of what's natural. After all, isn't the development of technology itself part of human evolution? Our tools have always shaped our development as a species.
That's such a profound observation. So maybe using technological metaphors to describe our growth isn't just clever wordplay, it's actually acknowledging something fundamental about modern human evolution. I've noticed how this kind of thinking is transforming everything from education to therapy to personal development practices.
And it's remarkable how this perspective is becoming more mainstream. It's not just futurists and tech enthusiasts anymore who talk about upgrading themselves.
That's so true. Even my grandmother talks about programming her habits now. It's like we're collectively developing a new language for personal development, one that bridges the gap between our biological heritage and our technological future. I find it incredibly hopeful, actually, this idea that we can consciously participate in our own evolution.
Though we should probably maintain some healthy skepticism about fully reducing ourselves to algorithms, right? there's still something beautifully mysterious about human consciousness.
Absolutely right. Maybe the real wisdom is in finding the balance, knowing when to think like an algorithm and when to embrace the ineffable aspects of being human. It's about using these new frameworks and metaphors where they serve us, while still honoring the complexity and mystery of human experience.
That feels like the kind of upgrade we should all be working toward, the ability to navigate both the systematic and the spontaneous aspects of personal growth.
And perhaps that's the most exciting part of being a living algorithm. We get to write our own code while remaining open to the unexpected mutations that make life interesting. It's not about becoming more mechanical, but about becoming more intentional in our evolution while staying connected to our humanity.
As we wrap up, I'm curious, what do you think the next big upgrade in human consciousness might be?
Wow, that's a big question to end on. I think we might see a shift towards more collective forms of consciousness. With technology connecting us in unprecedented ways, we might develop new capacities for empathy and shared understanding. Maybe the next upgrade isn't just individual, but a leap in our ability to think and feel as a global community.
That's a beautiful and hopeful vision to close with. It seems like our evolution as living algorithms might just lead us to a more connected and compassionate future.
Well, if we keep upgrading in that direction, I'd say we're on the right track. Until next time, keep evolving, everyone.